As Tesla's full self-driving continues to shock and impress, we're now also seeing big whale institutional investors now waking up to the stock potential. First, there's now movement in Europe approving the use of advanced driver assist on highways. Ford CEO Jim Farley announced that Ford's BlueCruise is now available in 15 European countries. Of course, Elon said that if that's the case, that means FSD is going to be coming up shortly as well. Then we'll review all the comments Elon Musk said in the last week about what to expect with FSD 12.5, and also how investors themselves are now at the very least talking about the coming Tesla robotaxi. We'll take a look at Piper Sandler's new note saying that Tesla may have solved the self-driving puzzle. Don't roll your eyes, buy Tesla. And also comments from Tesla's autopilot team members like Ashok and Srihari. I've got Brian White joining us. I'd like to get his comments as well. And he's got his own YouTube channel called FutureAza. Welcome, Brian.
It's great. Thank you, Herbert. Thank you. It's great. I've been on 12.5 since Saturday, and I have logged quite a few miles. So I'm excited to see what we got in store for us today.
So you have 12.5. You're traveling from, where are you coming from? From California? Back to Seattle.
Back to the Northwest. And I've got, I got 12.5 Friday night, installed Friday night, Saturday morning,
timing.
Hopped in, did a drive. It's up on the channel. You can check it out. The dog is in the video. So of course you can accept that. And yeah, then I did maybe 10 drives. This is now the version where I just turn it on. You know what, you deal with it.
I'm so happy, Brian. I'm telling you. For I don't know how many shows we've done, and you're like, I don't think FSD works. It's, don't believe what you're hearing. It sucks. I've been doing it. You kept saying that over and over and over again, and now we're going to hear a little bit different from you. Let's start with the BlueCruise news here from Jim Farley. He announced this: BlueCruise road trips across Europe just got easier. So the European Commission's approved Ford's BlueCruise is now available in 15 European countries, 17 countries globally, including the US and Canada. That means customers can access more than 82,744 miles of highways across Europe. Proud of the work of our global ADAS and BlueCruise team. That's him showing you can be hands-free on the highway, very similar to Tesla's autopilot, but Europe has approved it. And you said European Union is waking up to advanced driver assist, and I couldn't be happier. These systems can be vastly safer than humans alone. It's time. And of course, Omar said, cool, if they got hands-free approved for Europe, we should be able to get FSD running there too. Elon replied saying, yeah. So good news.
It is all good news. And if Ford can get the hands-free now, 70,000 miles, we'll start with that. And that's Ford's approach. These are the most commonly driven roads. These are highways that are easy to map out and make safe. Great, do it. And that does, of course, mean that FSD in some version should be permissible at some point very soon. And what I was saying in that post on X was that these cars are just safer. I know that it's fun for the critics to look at something negative and say this is how dangerous it is, but the stats are clear. More assisted driving is safer.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I mean, everybody keeps saying regulation. Well, who has the most regulation? Europe. And Europe approves highway driving. That means that they can't hold them back. Their incompetence can't hold them back. Their bureaucracy can't hold them back. It is so much safer that they need to approve this. It's better for everything, economy, the country, the people, all that. So
yeah, safety. It's just plain safety, man.
But it's now, it's proven with data is what you're saying. All right, let's go through a lot of what Elon has been saying this past week. And he's been involved, like his entire autopilot team. We'll go through all of their comments that they did this week. It starts off with Gail Alfar trying out 12.5.1. So 12.5 rolled out, and then they had to do a 0.1 release. And now this is actually going to go wide. So this is her drive with 12.5.1. I'm going to turn off the music so that we don't...
No need to get a strike. The hands-off is a real game changer. I didn't realize how wonderful it would be, but it is. It makes for a very different experience. And the eyeball attentiveness, the window that it gives you to look away has shortened. And I think that's reasonable. And I think that'll be adjusted over time as it makes sense. But it's, I've driven small towns, big towns, on the drive back. I'm halfway home. It has worked everywhere. I've had one disengagement in many hundreds of miles, well over a dozen drive. And that disengagement was because I felt uncomfortable. I was like, you know what? I'm not comfortable. There's a vehicle merging in. You know what? I'm just going to disengage. That's my personal taste. If I wasn't in the car, I'm sure it would have done fine. Though I will add that several times I tried to make it drive down a dead end. I started the navigation down a dead end just to see what it would do. Mm-hmm. It did not. It did not go into reverse. I might still be there. Who knows?
It's not supposed to do reverse quite yet, but I can't believe I'm hearing this. I can't recognize you. This has not ever come out of your mouth before. Brian White saying praises about FSD finally.
Well, version 11 didn't work for me. It just didn't. I made videos. People said I'm using it wrong. I'm like, watch the video. Tell me what I did wrong. Okay. And then 12s all worked pretty darn good most places. And 12.5 is another step change.
And one thing that people don't realize is that there's an internal cabin camera that's looking at your eyes. And if you even look away, even look at your cell phone, it will recognize it and it'll start beeping at you and so forth. So you don't have to put your hands on the steering wheel anymore. But this is so much safer when you're driving and you know that you can't look away. So why is this this should be like standard for everybody? You know what I mean? It's so much safer which is the opposite of what people are saying. So,
and that's how it starts. Airbags started as a premium feature and quickly became mandatory because the data doesn't lie.
Yeah. This is what Elon said, replying to Gail. The car drove me around Austin to random GPS pin drops, no interventions. Okay. He's also said this, that 12.5.1 starts wide release today, which is this was, July 29th, a few days ago. So he said this when people thought that it was going to be 12.5.3. We had to wait for the 0.3 release, but actually looks like the 0.1 is good enough for wide release. This is still just the hardware 4 cars. So my car, which is hardware 3, 2020 Model 3, doesn't get it. But Elon then said, it takes considerable software effort to optimize the code enough to run on hardware 3. It also needs to be validated separately. Estimated rollout is about 10 days. So we just need to wait 10 days. And of course, we don't know his accuracy, but it's coming for hardware 3 cars as well. And then the other big news information that he shared was Warren Redlick was joking. And he said, I'm starting a club of Tesla Hardware 4 AI 4 owners angry about getting left behind when the 5 comes out. Because right now the Hardware 3 people are complaining. Reply if you're with us. He's joking around.
Well, he's professionally angry, so.
Elon is saying AI 5 is 18 months away from high volume production. This is going to be a big, big step change in the compute capability of the AI5 chip. So instead of calling it hardware 3, hardware 4, we're calling it AI4, AI5 now. But that's still 18 months away. So we got a ways to wait for that one. What's your thoughts on anything?
And the perception improvement in AI5 is also going to be truly amazing. And processing that much data, if you look at it from the perspective of, I need to record video, it's a insurmountable obstacle. It is too much. But if you look at it in terms of what it's actually doing, it's not looking at everything. It's only looking at the things that matter. And now it can see them more clearly. It can define obstacles farther out. So this is not necessarily a compute problem, although it can be. It is more of a perception problem and a compression problem. So these are, I have tremendous confidence in the team. When Elon says, well, we have to optimize for hardware 3, I trust you. I don't know what that entails. I'm confident that it's difficult but doable. And I have this team, this self-driving team is world-class.
Okay, so not only did we change, FSD critic Brian White's opinion, we were able to also change some big whale institutional investors' opinion. Take a look at this. Basically, this title by a note by Piper Sandler, kind of like a flip-flop. Now they're saying this: Tesla may have solved the self-driving puzzle, says Bine. They actually even say, don't roll your eyes. It's great. What a statement. So they issued a bullish note on Tesla, saying that the company may have finally cracked the code for full self-driving tech. The note emphasizes the significance of the latest FSD version 12.5, garnered positive user reviews on X. Tesla's history of overpromising on FSD, analysts believe this time might be different. It's starting to happen. So they project FSD take rates will surge sharply around 2030. So little still kind of, okay.
Yes, we do.
What? 2030. All right. Ultimately
Weird.
achieving near total adoption across Tesla fleet. Look, if it works, it's going to go up pretty fast. Additionally, they foresee FSD subscription increasing from 99 to over 500. Wow. Okay. So they recommend buying it. This is the title. May have solved the self-driving puzzle. Don't roll your eyes. Buy Tesla. And they say, yep, the upcoming robotaxi event, October 10th. Viewing it not as a distraction from falling EV sales, but as a pivotal moment for Tesla. We think investors should consider the possibility that Tesla's decision to host a robotaxi event isn't a ploy to distract from falling EV sales. The analysts believe the focus on FSD at this event could underscore its importance to Tesla's future. What do you think,
Wow.
Brad?
Well, I love that they say it might be solved. I mean, yeah, it might. I mean, there's still a bunch of steps between here and there. I mean, we know reverse doesn't work. We know hand signals cannot yet be interpreted. We know that railroad crossings are a challenge, but all of those seem pretty trivial compared to making it feel like a real person driving you. When they said widespread adoption won't come until 2030, I am with you. That seems, your response was correct. Okay. I don't get it. And I also think that 500 a month is too ambitious. I think that's much too high of a number. I know there are a lot of use cases where 500 a month makes sense. If it was 500 a month, I would absolutely cancel. That is too much money. I do not have the dollars to justify an expense like that. That's more than a lot of people's car payment. So that would be great for if all cars are just plain robotaxi, but
yeah, there you go. So that's
right.
The
there are
weird part of what
business
they're
use
saying.
cases for it,
Yeah.
but
okay, so let's think this through and walk it through, right? So you've got FSD, and he's saying, okay, people are paying $99 a month from now. They think it's going to be 500 and full by 2030, but that's not what's going to happen. If the technology gets really good, then you will be able to use your car as a robo-taxi, and then you're going to make more money on the revenue of the times you send it out than you are going to be paying for it. And so you won't even need that $500 a month thing is probably something that Tesla will not ever need to sell you that, because they're going to make a revenue share of all robotaxis. Like, they're thinking that there's no robotaxi, it's just FSD forever. Why would you pay FSD for, $500 a month for safety? That's not the plan. That's not.
Well, even at $1 a mile, if I'm only getting half of that, that's 500 to cover $500 means it needs to go 1,000 miles a month without me in it. I'm not doing that. That's too much.
It won't be fun. It won't be fun. I got Brian the skeptic again. The
I'm
business
back,
model
baby.
skeptic. The business model skeptic. Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll see where we go.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay. So let's take a look at other comments by not just Elon, but a lot of, Ashok and Srihari. These guys are first the Tesla pilot team. McKay Wrigley, I think, is an AI expert out there. And he said, Tesla's FSD 12.5 update is the best product experience I've ever had. It's now just straight up personal robotaxi. I literally cannot believe it exists. It feels straight out of the future, pure magic. And Ashok Alaswamy said, experiencing it is a peek into the future. He continues to go out there. If you take a look at his X account, he rarely posts. But in the last week, he's like retweeting, recommenting. He's just so proud of 12.5. It's a significant upgrade. He's out there talking. Tesla themselves at the account shared this because AI driver, and I've already shown this, I'm not going to show it, but it showed that he received 12.5.1, and we were all at the X Takeover event. You were there with me, and it's like a giant park. It's just a field with grass. This car was able to, without any lane markings, unmarked roads, it wasn't even a road, it figured out its way out. It was shocking that it was able to do that. And Tesla says, well, it can find its way out of parking lots also, just as well as it can do unmarked roads. Elon said, and it will improve significantly from here. So that's a comment. And then you got Srihari, Sampath Kumar, also part of the Tesla autopilot team. And he says, glad to see many are having good drives in 12.5, a step in the right direction towards becoming 5-star Uber drivers. They're out in force. They're talking about it.
They are. And I did get to meet AI Driver at the event. We were having a chat, and I said, by the way, I'm Brian, in case you, he said, yeah, I'm AI Driver. I'm like, okay. Wait,
well, how did you recognize him? He doesn't show
I didn't. He introduced himself. Apparently he has shown his face once or twice. I hadn't seen those videos, but he introduced himself. So that was fun. Yeah. I haven't tried an experiment like that, but you can bet later today I will do that. I'll go into some parking lots and see what happens.
I see. All right. Well, tell me what you're thinking about the business model for Tesla's FSD. So now that you're seeing FSDs improving, 12.5, you're hearing a lot of users. You yourself have experienced this. You've been driving miles because you're going from, California all the way back to Pacific Northwest. You've been testing it like crazy. You're seeing improvement as well. Then you see these big whale institutional investors piping up, in this case, Piper Sandler, saying how great it is. How do you see things happening in terms of like, do you see more and more, it's like almost undeniable at this point that they have to start including it into their forecast. They have to start talking about it. How do you see that unfolding?
I'm going to say that we're going to see all the different analysts come up with different models and different predictions on different timelines. And that, of course, the nature of projection, they'll all be wrong, but some will be closer than others. I think 2030 is much too far out for mass adoption. I think once this works, it's going to become a hot commodity. What I'd like to see Tesla do is say, look, it's $99 a month, sign up now, and then your price doesn't change. Mm-hmm. And then that way it would motivate people to not just get in, but to stay in. And all that revenue counts as real revenue at the end of the month. It is a delivered product. There is no deferred revenue on it. You got what you paid for. And I haven't heard anything that would indicate that that's coming, but I think that would be a fantastic boon for both the bottom line and for the buyers.
I love that idea. Love it, Brian. Love it. Because 12.5, it's hard for people at this point to debate whether or not it's delivering value. At this point, it's delivering value. So
I would agree that on the version 11s, when my trial expired, I did not renew it because autopilot did everything I needed it to do, and FSD where I live didn't work. When 12 came out, I resubscribed. It only took maybe 3 weeks to get it. And I was very happy with 12.3 and on, but 12.5 is that right? Yeah, 12.5 is a massive step change for me so far. I'm going to continue testing, and we'll see if the thing is, I can only test so fast, and new versions come out faster. I'm going to go outside and see if I can hop on Wi-Fi, and if 12.5.1 is available right now.
Wait, so you have hardware 4?
I have hardware 4, yeah. I'm an October 2023 build.
Okay, gotcha. So, yeah, you're going to get 12.5.1 today.
Well,
for sure. It's wide release. It's already coming out. Go check it out. Get in your car right now. Do a live drive right here. Come on, man.
What am I doing?
What are you doing? Okay, so you're going to get 12.5.1, and you can tell us if that is a big step change. The beautiful thing about what we're hearing here is that even the point releases, like 12.4 to 12.5, it's like sounds like a point release, but they're saying no, this is a 5 times improvement. Each of these point releases. And then even the 0.1 is like, seemed to have quickly come out and resolved the small issues that it was having. So it's fast and furious, and it seems to be working well. Yeah. Any other comments about investors and FSD?
Not on investors. I think investors have enough information to make qualified decisions at this point. If they don't, by all means, dig into both of our archives and see what you can find. But on my only concern with the point releases is the 12.4s never went to wide release. They made some little tweaks, and they were not as good as 12.36.
Yeah.
I'm hoping we see fewer regressions in the future, but I think their conservative approach to rollouts is the correct approach, and it's maintaining safety while still advancing the system.
And this is the worst it's going to be. Well, hopefully, right? I mean, to say that we have time, we have more compute, we have better chips. We're still at hardware 4 now. It's going to be retrofitted to hardware 3. And then at that, then they're going to have more data centers, more data to survive, to do this. And then it'll just get more and more. And then, so what I'm looking forward to, of course, is the next release, which is supposed to have advanced smart summon, actual smart summon, which is setting it to park at a parking lot, coming to pick you up at the parking lot, and now the ability to reverse. I have started to see people saying that it's the issue with the blinking yellow and the blinking red lights is resolved. And I have started seeing some people saying that it's now recognizing emergency vehicles.
Ooh.
So quite not yet sure. I'm not confirmed that that's correct, but I'm starting to see reports saying that they believe that it happened. So for me, it was to be feature complete, reverse, and smart summon. Once it has those two, it's pretty well complete. Oh, and of course the single stack, that the highway code is going to use the same code as the neural net for the city streets, because that's going to make that so much better. And then from then on, just keep improving everywhere.
I had people critical saying that, well, Brian, you're using 12.5, and a lot of this video you showed us is on highway, which is not using the single stack. And I said, right, but it's behaving better on the highway than ever before.
People are saying that, which is weird, right? Because it's not supposed to, but apparently it is. Like, that's the other thing. Who knows? We're all anecdotal at this point. But yeah, wait till we actually get it. Okay. Thank you again, Brian. Follow him on his YouTube channel. See his transformation from a skeptic to a believer in real time. Watch his videos. FutureAza. All right. Thank you, Brian. See you soon. Bye, everybody. I've created a website that is the most comprehensive resource for the Tesla investor. Please check it out. Simply go to my website at herbertong.com.